The Best 96.3, I'm Ana Alicia Anguiano with your news for today, November 14th, 2011. Amistad Dam has been deemed safe. This according to Cheryl Franklin, Supervisory General Engineer at IBWC. Franklin says the dam passed historic flows and either equaled or exceeded historic reservoir elevations and historic releases with no problems.
The dams operated, basically as expected.
Franklin said the first thing engineers do if the dam is deemed unsafe is to lower the water level because the more water that is backed up against the dam, the more force on the dam, increasing the likelihood of problems. A number of studies have been done at Amistad Dam, and although it is safe, it has been classified as unsafe because of significant seepage through the reservoir. But the seepage does not hurt the dam and is not eroding it. In order for it to do so, the water would have to be moving at a high velocity.
And our experts have looked at this and said there is no need to lower the water levels.
Engineers are recommending modifications, which are not intended to be designed until after a study at the end of the month.
And at this point, we have no evidence that there's any erosion going on internally to the dam.
Engineers are recommending modifications, which are not intended to be designed until after a study at the end of the month. Attention all fishermen and lake goers. Water quality in the lake is good.
The water quality in the lake, there's no impairments.
That was Elizabeth Verdechia, Environmental Protection Specialist of the International Boundary and Water Commission. Verdechia said there were some slight nutrient issues in the lake, and there are a little bit of concerns about salt coming from the Pecos River, but all in all, water quality was good. Verdechia, along with other specialists, came to Del Rio last week and held a public meeting concerning the Amistad Dam in Rio Grande. The International Boundary and Water Commission, or IBWC, has a program called Texas Clean Rivers Act, and what they do is collect data every 2 years and use that data to identify any water quality issues in over 1,200 miles of river in the international boundary. There are a total of 91 monitoring stations along the Rio Grande, and Del Rio, Valverde County is in what IBWC calls the Middle Rio Grande Basin, which encompasses Del Rio, Eagle Pass, and Laredo, along with Mexican sister cities of Ciudad Acuña, Piedras Negras, and Nuevo Laredo. The way IBWC measures good water quality is through state standards of which are basically set on how the river is being used. Good water quality includes pH levels, water temperature, salts, and nutrients, among other things.
That's important because in this area, the entire river below Amistad has been designated by the state of Texas as a sole source for drinking water.
Also important because water in the Middle Rio Grande is used for irrigation and increasingly for community use. Verdechia says if water quality does not meet state standards, then it is classified as an impaired water body. And here's the bad news.
We have an impairment of bacteria in Del Rio.
But we aren't alone in this situation because Verdechia says Eagle Pass and pretty much all of Laredo isn't meeting water quality standards. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel for Del Rio's water because
the bacteria in Del Rio has been decreasing over the last several years, so that's good.
But there are things we as citizens can do to ensure better water quality. And the best way we can do this is to maintain our septic systems. Verdechia says this is the main cause of high bacteria.
But the number one reason would be untreated wastewater or untreated septic.
Picking up your dog's waste is another thing contributing to bad water quality in Del Rio. More than half of the world's major rivers are being seriously depleted and polluted, poisoning the surrounding ecosystems, thus threatening the health and livelihood of people who depend upon them for irrigation and drinking, like us. High water quality is more than the dream of conservationists. It's more than a political slogan. High water quality is essential to health, recreation, and economic growth. So do your part, Del Rioans, and help keep our water clean. You can catch us every weekday with your up-to-date, up-to-the-minute news. Follow us on Twitter, KTDR-FM, or on our webpage, thebestktdr.com. With your radio news, I'm Ana Alicia Anguiano.
This segment brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings of Del Rio. Great food, no bull.